In honor of Jim Carolla's 92nd birthday, here's a list of all the things Adam Carolla will do before he dies. Have a hot towel on his face at a barbershop with a cigar sticking out. Just one of the things Adam will do before he dies. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
All right, Dawson in studio. Jiayoing is walking back into studio in a second. Drew's texting.
Not texting. It's a prescription problem.
Working on his phone. That's fine.
Multitasking.
So
loves that when I do that.
No, I only love the fact that you don't know what you sound like when you're doing it. That's the comedy of it. But, all right, go ahead. What do we got, Dawson?
All right, let's talk about the NFL. Lots of bad games this weekend. 7-seed Packers stampeded the Cowboys. Texans crushed the Browns. Chiefs over Dolphins in cold Kansas City. But the big game, Lions over Rams at home by 1 point. How do you feel about it, boss?
I'm very philosophical because the Lions are a snake-bit organization. They never do any real winning in the playoffs. Eric Kramer, ex-quarterback for the Lions, is a friend. I knew he was going out there. They'd flown him out there to support, so I was kind of hoping that he didn't get disappointed. Stafford was a Lion, and Goff was a Ram. And I always liked Goff. I always thought he seemed like a mellow dude, and, he went to the Lions, and they went 2-12 or something, and then Stafford came here and we won the Super Bowl, and so I thought that had to fucking sting pretty bad for Goff to get thrown onto this losing franchise. And it's a lot of that, geez, why can't you guys win the big one? Well, you leave and we get this guy in who's on a losing franchise, and now we do win the Super Bowl with the Rams a few years ago. So I was like, any way this turns out, I'm happy for the turnout. I'll tell you what I wasn't happy for. Drew?
Yeah.
You done with your phone?
No, I'm trying to sign into this prescription program.
Just do it during the break. Come on. All right. Here's what happened to me. I realized, look, the schedule got moved around. They canceled the game because of weather, and they moved some stuff around, and they're a little out of sequence. They used to just put the playoff games on Sunday during the day. Now there's a nighttime playoff game. I made dinner plans with somebody right in the middle of the Rams game that I didn't check the schedule. I thought we would be watching the football during the day. Then we go out at night at 7:30 and have dinner, and we'll have seen all the games by then. But the Rams were the late game. So I'm watching with my son. It's about 7:15. The game's all knotted up, back and forth, and we're going into the fourth quarter, and the guy I'm going to dinner with shows up at my house. So then I say to my son, do not tell me how this game ends. I'm going to walk into my office. I'm going to record it. I'm going to go out to dinner, and I'm going to come back, and then I'm just going to watch the fourth quarter. And we went to the restaurant, and the restaurant had it up on the TV. But as you walk through the restaurant, you have to sort of go through the bar, and there were people eating. No, there were people, the same kind of place. People sitting there watching it up on the TV. And there was one big guy, looked like he played some high school ball, sitting there alone at the bar. It's like eating his dinner and having his drinks, watching TV. I said, okay, this guy's come to watch the game. We then went to the back part of the restaurant, sat in a booth,
away from the TVs.
Could not hear anything, could not see anything, and enjoyed like a longish dinner, maybe an hour and a half. The game had long over by that point. I then walked back around and saw the TVs were blank. The game was over. Most everyone had filed out, except for the one big guy at the end of the bar. And as we were walking out, he went, "We should have won that one."
Yeah, there you go.
This guy's not from Detroit.
There you go.
And he didn't say anything other than we should have won that one. And I was like, oh, fucking Rams lost. And whatever I was trying to do did not happen because one guy said one thing out loud. And now I knew the outcome.
We have a long history of that in my family. My father, growing up, my dad worked shift work. So he was either 3 to 11, 11 to 7, or 7 to 3. And it was 7 days a week, 2 days off, whatever, 5 days, 2 days. And he would always record the games, but his rule was, you turn off. And this was easy to do 30 years ago. Turn off, don't listen to the radio. You can come back, you can watch the game. But the one time I was coming back from working a ski event on Super Bowl Sunday, and I recorded the game, and I somehow managed, and I had to, lay over in different airports. I managed to get through 2 different airports, well, 3 counting getting home, and the game was well over. Managed to do it without hearing one thing about the game, and then I called my girlfriend, and the first thing she said was the Patriots did it. And I'm like, I hate you.
I feel like I was right there with Dawson during this whole experience. Ribbons were drawn here. Beautiful.
So, yes, they rescheduled a game, boss. By the way,
I was thinking back on Grandpa Al Lewis, who was from my childhood from the Munsters.
Grandpa from the Munsters was a guy that Adam knew. Do you know who the Munsters are?
No.
It's all right. It's okay.
No. But
you know
I never watched the Munsters.
Yeah, but they make movies.
I know they exist.
You have to know because they make modern day movies.
Yeah.
I couldn't point him out of a lineup.
You couldn't? Grandpa?
Okay. If he's the old guy, then I could.
The vampire.
Well, it's got the word grandpa in his title.
Well, if you showed me the Addams Family grandpa and the Munsters grandpa and asked me to pick which is which, I wouldn't know.
I don't think the Addams Family had a grandpa.
He means Uncle Fester.
Well, there you go.
Uncle Fester. Oh, you would know.
There was a grandma. There was a grandma in the Addams Family, but he means Uncle Fester and grandpa.
No,
we
he
should put him.
He would know the difference between Uncle Fester and Grandpa.
The point is, I've never watched a single episode of either of those shows.
Deprived childhood.
Go on.
Yes. Either way, I will continue. Now.
Yes, please.
Now that it's clear that no one's ever seen anything I'm talking about ever. He would sit there, and you would watch. If you watch a football game with Grandpa Al, he'd have the sound all the way down. And he would complain that these announcers, they don't know any. He was so angry.
Wow.
That he couldn't watch a football game with the sound up.
That's
it would bother me
interesting.
to watch it with the sound down. And I was sitting with my son just thinking, we're enjoying the game and the announcers. You know what I mean? And he used to turn it all the way down and get angry.
What was he like out of makeup and character and stuff?
Well, he hit me.
Nice.
He chewed tobacco in the house and spat it on the floor, at a wooden floor.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
He would dip and just like onto the
Maybe
floor.
he's Chinese. They do like
He was
What
angry.
kind of floor? Hardwood?
wooden.
Hardwood.
Was he related to a friend of yours or something? Or, I mean, what was the connection?
I was friend with his son.
His son. Okay.
Is he related to a friend of mine?
No. I mean, I didn't know how you.
No, I was friends with his son.
Yeah.
He was mean as shit.
And this guy was in the Munsters?
He was mean and in the Munsters.
Yeah.
But the Munsters were lovable, Dawson.
He. I try to imagine that. It's hard to. It's odd.
He was crotchety and angry.
And this was a few years. It was 10 years after the Munsters or so, right?
Yeah, probably. Probably was out of work.
Yeah.
He did Car 54, Where Are You, I think.
right.
And then he did the Munsters. He was working.
And those guys got no residuals back then. That's the Gilligan's Island.
Now he's just living in Van Nuys with his fucking wife who always had the eye patch on because she had some sort of thing with her eye going on all the time. She was like a nurse. And he's just chewing dip and spitting it on the floor.
Oh my God.
And he's fucking angry.
Oh my God.
And he's yelling at the TV set. I mean, he smacked me, you know?
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
he didn't.
Somebody else's kid.
That was back when that happened.
Yeah, I guess.
And you could do it.
Would Ray's mom ever hit you?
No.
She seems like that kind of. Like
she
would
might
lose it.
hit him,
Yeah.
maybe, but only because he was doing something crazy to her. You know what I mean? Like putting his dick in her friend's ear, you know, shit like that. You know,
What? You like that?
and I don't think it reflected well on her that her friend was on the phone sitting in her like parlor and Ray put his dick in her open ear.
Oh wow! I mean, I wish he put his dick near your ear when the fat guy says something. You won't hear it.
All right, so one of the football games, as Adam mentioned, was rescheduled over the weekend. It's actually being played right now as we record this. It's the Steelers in Buffalo A lot of
because of
people
the
were
snow?
upset because they rescheduled it.
I think they should have played it in
because
the snow.
A lot of people thought they should
Because
have.
it's Buffalo. It was in Buffalo. It must be in
Exactly.
Buffalo.
Buffalo are hardy people.
Yeah.
I looked
and then-
it up. They did cancel the game 10 years earlier.
Okay.
It happened rarely, but once every 10 years they'll cancel a game because of weather.
The Bills put out on their Twitter, they put out a picture of what the field looked
I was going to
like.
say, they
right
really
around,
get feet of snow.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be difficult.
And
Yeah.
we'll put that up. It doesn't look like you could play
If you had a
football
three-point stance, you
game
would disappear.
in this. And listen to this, too.
Oh, you can see the wind blowing. Oh, yeah.
So, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get many camera shots. I don't even know how you can see the field and be able to play in that. So that kind of makes sense. But a lot of people were saying, you know, if anyone complained about this, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you want people to die? People could die
Oh, here we go.
getting out there."
Yeah.
And
Maybe the coach wants to execute the whole team.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, they have
Right.
a good insurance, right?
and
Still
our
got money.
friend Dave Damashek, who we're going to see later this week for a show next week, he had this nice answer to people got in there. So people got in there to do their jobs and are still alive.
Yeah.
So basically, they sent all the people from Buffalo volunteered for $20. $20 get through the snowstorm, or at least through all the shitload of snow, and then go clean up the stadium and get ready for the game. But Damashek, I think he had the right take on it. Yeah, nobody died.
Was it $20?
I think I heard on the news that they made $20.
Oh, it's so weird because first off, 20 is zero now.
Yeah.
I was watching the news and they're like $50 an hour.
Really?
Well, it's weird to make 20, maybe 20 an hour. Making $20 to shovel a stadium
20 an
seems-
hour.
I swear, in
weird.
passing, I heard $20.
Oh, you heard. All right. Well,
Oh,
we'll see if
wow.
we can figure out what they got paid. And then some guy took his shirt off and slid down the flume
Right.
with all the snow in it and everything. Yeah, people are much more durable than we'd like to think. And also, cold doesn't give you colds.
No.
Ladies.
No.
No.
So really, any thoughts on the cancellation of the game? Because I got one, and that's
Well, okay, go ahead.
I think that if I think they could have done the game. I just think that they would have made 15% of the money that they would have,
Oh.
and it came down to money.
Well, okay. The games you remember, they'll have the ice bowl and the fog bowl. They played a game in the fog once. You couldn't see anything. You remember that? Not you, Joey.
But it's
Isn't that
exciting.
true?
I don't remember that, but Super Bowl II was in the mud, right? Or 3? One of them was a complete mud ball.
They have these novelty games
Yeah.
and it's insane and they had a super windy one that couldn't. It does kind of make fun.
Well, that first New
make
England
it
win
fun.
was in the snow. It was snowing, right? Or the
Yeah,
second New England?
yeah. They'll play in the snow for sure.
Yeah.
And then you have the game with New England and I think Miami where they got the ex-con to drive the snowblower tractor out and clear the spot so the kicker could kick the game-winning field goal because you can't kick it off the snow. Then there's the problem where the other team in the snow game, because they got the field goal is going to win the game, the other team will call timeout sometimes.
Yeah.
And all that does is give them an extra couple minutes to clear all the linemen to kick all the snow away and clear spots so
Yeah.
they can kick it. I am generally for it. I say you play like the weather, like the mailmen through night or sleet of snow and
Yeah.
all that.
Or dark of night.
But I will it's $20 an hour. I will concede. See,
Well,
you
an
can know
hour
everything.
makes more sense.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you can be right
I
all
heard
the time.
$20. I didn't hear $20 an hour, but it
I
was
heard
in
$20
passing.
too,
Okay.
but I processed.
Yeah, well, you're smart. There you go.
Everyone can be smart. You just
There
have
you
to
go.
think who would do this, and then you go, that would never. All right, $20 an hour. So here's the point. I like it, but I will concede that the weather gets so bad at a certain point that it's not practical to play the game.
Sure.
And maybe it got to that threshold.
And maybe the networks had some to say.
And
maybe a regular game might have been played.
And I thought, oh, Kathy Hochul. They got a chick governor. Oh, she's such a puss. Bet she did this.
Help.
But I looked it up, and they did it 10 years before this on another. It happens periodically, so we can't really.
That they play in the snow. Or they cancel. I beg your pardon. They cancel for the snow. Beg your pardon.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. We'll move it on to more weather-related stories. You know, the Iowa caucuses are happening this evening as we record this. Now, no one really knows what the Iowa caucuses are.
Or how they work.
Yeah, no one knows. I think
mysterious.
They pass around a magical hat, and if Chris Christie sees his shadow, then
Jiayoing wins.
Stop
Ted
eating
Cruz can
donuts?
go to Mexico without
If you
press
do
coverage.
Jiayoing's club, don't do that one, Dawson. She just sent me a little note.
Christy's a fat one, right?
Yeah.
Christie's a fat one. He finally dropped out.
Yeah.
So the people left standing are Trump, who's leading by many, but we'll see, because there's a question I want to ask you. There's a couple ways to look at this. You got Trump, you got Nikki Haley, who's surging in the polls. DeSantis kind of staying there. He's Trump Jr. And Vivek, I like the guy.
He's canvassing the whole state, though. He's going everywhere.
Yeah, I think if I had to make a prediction, I think he'll do better than most people think.
That would make sense.
Because there's a younger crowd after him, and younger people care less about the cold weather.
And Musk just said that hard work always has some significant impact.
Yes, and Iowans care about that.
I love Vivek. And also love the fact that he has a crazy name, and he has a crazy his. Let me tell you how this country works. We have, and this is how I grew up. We understand, like we go white, Mexican, black, Chinese, but mostly just Japanese, and we just lump everyone together. Vivek Ramaswamy, we don't even have a place for that in our head. That would just fall under other and weird. That's how I grew up. And the fact that he never brings his race up and nobody ever brings his race up is a good thing. Now, if he was on the left, I think CNN would never stop fucking talking about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he's not on the left, he's on the right. And
So they call him a white supremacist.
Right. He doesn't milk it.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about it.
Ramaswamy face of white supremacy.
Yes, he is.
Right. And so I like that part, and I like him, and I like that he attacks the news.
He's what
all
you
the
used to
fucking
call
time.
the Johnny Quest
Villain.
race. Villain, yeah, right.
Yeah, where you didn't know. If you watched Johnny Quest, you didn't know what race the villain was.
Do you think it would work if he had an accent?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think this country. Here's what I know. I shouldn't say I think this. I know this. The person, the race, whatever the color, male or female, the second they open their mouth and start talking about ideas, you either agree with them or you disagree with them. I am white, I'm heterosexual, I'm tall, and I'm male, and I don't agree with the motherfucking thing Joe Biden says. Nothing. I think he's an idiot. I think he's dangerous. I know he's a liar. I think he's compromised sort of mentally now, and God knows the depths of what him and his son were up to in terms of this country and, you know, pay for play. Okay, but he looks like me. But I don't give a fuck. But I also hear Kamala Harris talk, who's a female, who's half Indian and half Jamaican or whatever she is, and I don't agree with the motherfucking thing that dingbat says either. But then there's
Just 'cause
Larry.
you're a racist.
Then there's Larry Elder, who's a black man, and I agree wholeheartedly with everything Larry Elder says. The second someone starts spitting out ideas, you either agree or you disagree. That's how everybody is fucking wired. The second your team starts a black quarterback and he starts throwing touchdowns, you love your black quarterback. That's or he could throw picks. In which case, you would hate your black quarterback, but it's only because of his performance. We're all wired that way. It's a selfish wiring. Race doesn't, you know, me going, well, look, Vivek Ramaswamy's nothing like me, has no heritage that I have. I agree with all his ideas, but I'm going to support Biden with his high taxes and his porous border and his $8 a gallon gas because he looks like me. Well, that doesn't serve me.
I'll pay for his son's Coke.
He'll pay for his son's Coke.
There's a big point you're making here is that you say that no heritage, you don't identify with any heritage, but all Vivek is out there with is the American heritage.
Yes.
So you do connect with him and agree with him on the heritage. And that's the heritage
my
he
point.
keeps promoting.
But
Yes, that's the point you're
unifying
making.
around an idea, not around
Yeah.
a heritage,
Yeah.
a biological heritage.
Yeah.
Right. So it's supposed to be minus 30-degree wind chill. And the way this works, they put everybody in a high school gymnasium or something. You got to go to a place. You got to sit in a room for what could be hours and listen to representatives of opposing political parties or political candidates to say everything they got to say. Who knows how long this is going to take?
This is the caucus.
Yeah. And it seems like a real shitty way to vote, dude. Just write down a name and let's be done. But I think that it's going to come down to who the hardiest are.
Well, let me say something. The 30 below zero, is that the actual
That's the
temperature?
wind chill.
Wind chill. When you get down into that range, like I was in Minneapolis once, it was 50 below with the wind chill. You cannot go outside. You just can't. And so
I've been in that. Have you ever farted in that?
No.
Freezes solid.
Wow. What happens if you lick it?
Oh, your tongue will stick to it. I tried.
Wow.
I farted a solid block of frozen fart.
It's fantastic.
When the wind chill gets under 40, your farts will
Wow.
be solid.
Yeah, we can sell that item. You know that, right? We can sell your frozen fart, in a jar.
I know
Wow.
that. I was going to do it, and then that
auction.
bitch on the internet snaked me on it. And farted into
Right,
it.
a fiance
jar.
bitch. And is it brown?
It was a whiteout, so
Mayonnaise.
No, don't be a weirdo, Drew. It was a frozen fart. I didn't shit. God damn it, Drew. You're a man of science. You should know that. But it froze,
Wow.
Well, that's going to be a factor in people going because if some guy's gaseous and he's got to get from the car to the caucus.
I had to have somebody break it off, too.
Yeah.
It was...
Yeah.
Wow, it
didn't
stuck
just
to your
drop.
asshole.
Well, yeah.
Did a little piece of colon form too?
No, I mean, picture like a stalactite. Or
No, I get that,
stalagmite,
but how far in? It was just stick to the rim, just
enough.
sort of got a little desquamation, like a.
Well, only the cold only made it so far up.
Right.
what I'm saying.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, frozen farts.
Jiayoing loves
You
fart
can
humor.
see that. It's got to get below the wind chill's really got to be a
I
factor.
get that.
Yeah. All right, wait. Let's take
Did
a
it
quick break.
smell?
We got it froze solid, Drew. I keep asking these
If
dumb
you got
questions.
close, no, a little bit of evaporations. You brought when you brought back
during
in
the spring thaw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. People months later, I'm
Yeah.
sure, when it was thawing.
A lot of great opportunities for gagging people with that.
All right, quick break. Come back, do the news right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace, it's Jim from Detroit. I think before you die, you ought to head somebody off at the pass. Get it on, bitches.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
All right, Jiayoing Summers is hanging out. Dates, you can go to, I'll spell it out, Summers you can do, but JIAOYING Summers.com for all the live dates. She's a great stand-up comedian. Tiger MILF with Jiayoing Summers is the podcast. Dr. Drew's hanging out. And Dawson's got some more news.
There was a award show called the Critics' Choice Awards,
Yes.
which aren't they all?
Yes, and the stupid singers who are dumb, don't read book, are offended by all the jokes.
Yes.
People are offended by the jokes?
Yeah, the singers, like the 17-year-old gorgeous little pretty girl who can sing, like, oh my God, so offended.
Who hosted it?
Yeah.
There's a comedian. I don't know which one did it.
I only know about the food they served.
Oh.
Is that Chinese?
Yeah, no, it was.
Chinese food.
It was served in a bag.
Oh,
and it was
Chelsea
pizza in a
Handler.
hot bag. Chelsea
Hold on.
Handler hosted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
It's going to come up.
And so a 17-year-old singer didn't like Chelsea Handler's jokes.
yeah. She should live alive. I mean, like, it's a joke.
Yeah, but
Why are those rich little
let me
singers
just put it
offended,
this
right?
way. I once stopped dating a girl. The only reason was because she thought Chelsea Handler was funny.
I would condone that. But, yeah, well, Chelsea Handler's got other... Chelsea Handler's one of these people who sort of... She's down with all the retarded causes and acts, you know. I don't like any of the wokesters, and I especially don't like people who go, hey, imagine how much harder I had to work. It's the Ellen syndrome. You know, I'm a lesbian and I'm a woman, and so imagine, like, stop fucking blowing smoke up your own ass. You're mainly here because of those things.
Yes, I think it's amazing for a woke person to make another woke person angry. I love that.
But I agree, and I don't know what I didn't watch
Guillotines.
it. I was watching the Rams lose, so I don't know.
I always
what
say it
happened.
when the
So was
guillotines
I,
come
happily.
out.
What was the pizza in the bag?
So here's we got a video showing this. Well, what they served was individually wrapped hot bags of pizza. You know when you get a chicken sandwich at KFC, it comes in that nice hot bag. Mm-hmm. So they tried to make these things for the pizza. They put them in individual bags, and one lady who was at Oprah's table because she's in the movie The Color Purple. She wasn't really happy about it.
Taraji P. Henson?
Fantasia.
Fantasia. All right.
God.
Did they have this clip, or is it just this is how
Yes.
things work? Or they ready for it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see it.
All right.
I didn't know if you were calling for it or buying time.
Nope.
All
Well,
right.
I guess I'm buying time. It's some volume.
She's volume always catches everyone off guard.
Yeah. I'm with her.
I don't know. I'm with you, but I've never turned down a piece of pizza. When you're saying pizza in a bag, I thought you meant like a bag of pizza.
No, we'll get it. We'll find you. There you go.
We have a plate of very decorative homes.
So it looks
Handing out
almost like you're getting a sandwich at Chick-fil-A. It's the same kind of bag.
Yeah, well, they're kind of doing. They're doing what they do with big cookies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now here's the point. Here's the point that I want to make. Paul Giamatti turned it into a chance to make money, as if he needs more. But Paul Giamatti not happy with his amount of endorsements, I guess, these days. And so at his speech, he won for best Paul Giamatti in a Paul Giamatti film. Let's see his acceptance speech.
Guessing Dawson's not a Giamatti fan.
I don't know, but Dawson keeps doing this thing with his arms.
Did he,
That's like he's signaling
did he fuck
something,
your
but-
girlfriend or something?
Yeah, they can't
It's-
see me, but I'm signaling to put the video up.
It's very personal, Dawson. Did he fuck your girlfriend? Something happened
Yeah, we
between
need
you
to
guys.
know.
No, I love
It's a
Paul
personal-
Giamatti.
I didn't get that email.
think so.
I love Paul Giamatti. I just don't think he needs more endorsement deals. You're doing all right.
Sorry, I didn't get that email.
Yeah,
He's doing all right.
he just
How'd you
won.
get the other one then?
You know, my greatest thing is I sit here and do this all day. Like, come on, Chris, I fucking told you we're going to play the clip, and he'll go, you never said. And I do love it when Chris comes over here, or Dawson comes over on this side of the glass and gets to experience.
All I have is a note that says Pizzagate at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Right, and then here's how it goes. And then I told you that I wanted the Paul Giamatti thing, and then they go, you never said.
No,
that.
it's all in the email.
It's all in the email.
Yeah.
All right, now you got to find the email.
I flew next to Paul Giamatti one time. He was the nicest guy ever, Dawson.
I love Paul
Oh, I
Giamatti.
believe
But all
he
the
is.
endorsements.
I believe he is.
I want him to have more endorsements, Dawson. I want him to have as many
well, you
fucking
want him to
endorsements as
get
he
more.
wants.
Maybe. Well, what he does
He
is
does.
he pitches himself for pizza in a bag.
That's a joke. Right?
Byron, grab the vids of the pizza in the bag being handed out and Paul Giamatti mentioning pizza in a bag. Thanks, bro.
You got to put in an email next time.
Yeah, I know.
The whole thing I'm realizing is that people tell me all the time, you got to put stuff in the email. And I go, I called the person and I told them, do this thing. And they go, you got to put an email. But I think we're at the point where people are sort of done with emails, too.
Got to put in a Snapchat.
I think you have to
DM them.
It really has to be in the subject.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be in the subject
Yes.
because I think maybe that's it. I'm certainly guilty of whiffing on stuff. All right, you can do another story and we can get back to Paul and all his lucrative endorsement deals. The guy's King Midas, I tell you, man.
I think he was just telling a joke.
Well, yeah, as we, I was just saying, Paul Giamatti gave in some acceptance speech, and it was a little confusing at the top because he was talking about it.
Did he win for whatever movie, The Outsiders or whatever? And did his lady friend? So now here's what I do when I watch movies. Right, I saw that movie with a friend, and when it was done, we were like, yeah, it was pretty good. It was a little bit long, but it was a good movie, and Giamatti was good. And I said, yeah, the fat, black, chain-smoking, sassy secretary lady's going to get nominated. And the person I saw the movie with said, she wasn't that good. And I said, no, she's fat, she's black, she's smoking, and she's sassy. She's going to get nominated. And then she went, the person I was talking to went, she wasn't even in that much. I said, you're playing. And by the way, I have these conversations with people all the time. They go, yeah, but she wasn't. I go, you don't even know. You do not know how this works. She won the Golden Globe. The woman who was okay in the movie, but not necessary, whatever. But I was like, her son died in the movie. In the movie, she had a son who was military and died. She was like wisecracking and tell it to me straight and smoking and drinking and sassy, and she's big. And I was like, she's getting nominated. And the person was like, why? And I was like, well, because that's how that's how this works now. Do you understand? So she won the Golden Globe. I don't know if she won this one or not, but she will be heading toward the Oscar, and she will win Best Supporting Oscar unless somebody fatter and blacker.
I'm so jealous.
Something shows up.
I want to play Brad Williams transitioning, like a major transitioning into an Asian woman.
You'd win everything.
Yes. I want to be starting make up like a Brad Williams.
We found
become
Paul.
A woman.
Dawson should put it in the email. All right, here we go. We got Paul.
I didn't think my week could get any better than going viral for eating a cheeseburger. Serious, guys. I need that endorsement, so let's all just pray for me. Thank you. Did everybody get their pizza in a bag, by the way? Did everybody? I think that'd be a good endorsement. Paul Giamatti for pizza in a bag.
I thought it was good. I thought it was clever. But also, he did those Volkswagen commercials. And wasn't it Volkswagen with what's his face?
I'm with Drew. I find this to be a weird angle on your part because you're like, who are the highest paid actors in Hollywood? Paul Giamatti.
He's not allowed to joke about endorsements.
I honestly didn't know we'd get this
Shaq
far.
does 13 endorsements. And now, if one of the Manning brothers did that, this is a good angle. Because
I see your point. I see your point.
And he
see your point.
Paul did do Volkswagen.
Right.
Could have been several years ago.
He also did AT&T recently, I believe it was.
He did.
With some...
Yeah. He's not as ubiquitous as Deer in Michigan, but I see your point.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But also he's making a sort of self-deprecating joke. So, but all right.
Speaking of films, you watched Napoleon, right? Yes, everybody?
Yeah,
I haven't yet.
Have you seen it?
I haven't.
It's
I
on
want
now.
to.
It's worth watching, I'd say.
Joaquin Phoenix.
He's good.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts, Adam?
It looked fantastic.
Beautiful. Oh my God.
It's worth it.
He spends a lot of this movie on a horse, so he's actually riding Phoenix in this one.
Is that Ridley Scott?
Yeah. It looks amazing. It's worth it just for that.
Yeah.
I said on this show, look, there's got to be some kind of accent czar. You know, Napoleon has no accent, but when the Prussians come in, they have thick German accents.
And all the Frenchmen have British accents.
They all have suppressed have British accents,
Yeah,
you know.
it's
It's kind of all weird.
Yeah,
but my whole thing is like, look, if nobody has an accent, then nobody should have an accent.
Or do it in French with subtitles, for Christ's sake.
That's you, Drew, because you're a snob and you speak French. It looks amazing. It's a little weird. And
she nailed Josephine. I will tell you that historically, that was a pretty good Josephine. That was not.
And
Napoleon.
he nailed her a few times weirdly. Like there was some weird, vigorous, like walking in on your parents kind of sex. They had some of like in the movie, like
not enjoyable.
If I was the actor and that was in the script, I'd kind of be like,
can we tell it
a little distracting. Like I have great passion for my wife, but this weird from behind.
And by the way, does such premature ejaculation? Does that be that premature?
I feel like my character.
Did you enjoy the movie?
I did. I am a student of that history, and so a lot of stuff distracted me. But I thought when it was done, it's definitely worth it. And people that
here's what I would
never
say.
been exposed to that. It's important.
In terms of historical movies, this movie was not a great movie.
No.
And Ferrari was not a great movie. Two historical characters that took place somewhere in Europe. Okay. But you should see Napoleon, but you do not need to see Ferrari.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Ferrari's at 73% with Rotten Tomatoes and Napoleon's like 60 or whatever, you should see Napoleon and not Ferrari.
Well, when it comes to films like this, especially Ridley Scott, Ridley Scott directing Napoleon, you think you're going to get an epic battle.
You do.
You do get an epic.
Okay. You get a lot of
the complaints I've heard, I haven't seen it yet, but the complaints I heard was they spent too much time on love and not enough time on war.
Plenty of war.
Big battles.
Okay, good.
Visually compelling.
Like
whoever
Game
said
of Thrones.
Fucking idiot.
But I think what it all has to deal with, the level of expectation that you go into with a movie. And you hear Ridley Scott and Napoleon, and you think, this is going to be the greatest movie that has ever existed.
Two problems. One nice thing is you get a sense of what a shit show the French Revolution was. You get kind of a flavor of that, which like they also, I told you, they had this one thing Napoleon did where you open fire on normal citizens, frankly, and people leave that out of the historical record very often, and they portray that exactly as it happened.
The trailer was really good for the film. The trailer was pretty epic, so you kind of went in expecting bigger or better or whatever. And it's totally watchable. I would watch it, well, you can't see it in a movie theater, but let's see it on as big a screen as you could find.
So the movie is short, not the grower.
3 hours show.
Okay.
Right.
But I think the sex must be so much better during Napoleon's time. There's no porn. There's no OnlyFans. There's nothing.
Big
you
mega
just
bush.
Fuck. Yeah.
You know what do you think of this term? I've used this one since high school. There are two terms involving the male phallus. I would always say gym dick. Like people go, it's a grower, not a shower. I'd say I got a good gym dick. It's not really good after the gym. It doesn't look.
It's not
much.
a James.
It doesn't go anywhere.
It's a James. It's a gym, not a James. But it looks good in the gym, JYM, because when I'm just walking around, you'd go, man, I bet that guy's got potential. But it's never realized.
Yeah.
It's never realized in the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of go the other way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My eyes kind of go the other way. Yeah.
Nice.
I look at the
all
crotch.
these years.
Well, you looked at me once at a urinal. You're like, what are you thinking of something? What's going on there?
Well, but that's your gym dick.
That is my gym dick, and that was a good gym dick day. But I got a lot of range in my gym dick.
And my head's spinning today.
Love
Are you
line,
saying you got a
hashtag
good
love
looking
line.
gym dick, or you get a big boner?
I can, because I get a big boner, I can have a good gym dick days, but it's not necessarily so.
All right.
bad
You
days,
either
too.
have a good
A
gym
cold
dick or
day-
you don't have a good gym dick.
Generally-
You're not shoveling snow in Buffalo Rich Stadium.
I would say generally.
You're
not
at the
so
gym,
much.
you took a hot shower.
Not so much.
Not so much after a hot shower at the gym.
Not so much.
All right, so you're the grower, not the shower.
Yeah. As
So-
compared to where we go, especially.
Yeah, so I say gym dick.
Yeah.
And then I also would refer to, and it's so funny because nobody ever uses this term but me, but everyone knows what I'm talking about.
This should be good.
Which Drew, have I ever told you I was a ceramics major in high school?
You have.
I brought that up.
I said you're frequently through weathered feldspar, in fact.
That's what we call. So in ceramics, they had this term for the clay. If it was too new or too mushy or too whatever, it was it was soft. And then they had this other term, which is like it would start to dry up and would get sort of brittle and hard and stuff. But there was a middle phase they called the leather phase. know, and I would always, like my friends would go, hey, you know, your stepsister's pretty hot or something, and I'd go, listen, I'd be in the leather phase if I was like hanging around, you know, like leather meant you're on your way, but you're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
you must have caught me on a
Your
leather
bags
day.
are packed, but you're not on the plane.
Generally at the gym, no leather.
Yeah.
No leather. No, I know, but you could get a little leather if you passed the right billboard driving around town or something like that.
Yeah.
And the leather phase always just meant kind of the in-between phase.
For liftoff.
Yeah, and no one else was a ceramics major, but everyone kind of got the reference that I'm kind of leather down there.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, it can be a way to measure how hot a girl is. Like, it's a leather face. She's a 6.5.
Tumescence.
Get some leather.
Fade.
Or like a brittle is 8.9.
Her tits are
or
suede.
soft. Or soft.
Right.
Yeah. Leather face. It's good. Like it's hard. Like a leather 6 in LA is 9 in Kentucky.
No, I think she heard leather face.
No, face.
Phase. Phase.
PHASE.
Phase. Okay, good.
Phase.
Phase.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leather face.
Yes, leather face.
We can rate women.
Yeah, by leather. Yeah.
By leather.
Yeah,
We're tumescence, leather, same thing.
Tumescence. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I
There
think
are
Paul
tumescent-
Giamatti would agree this is the best news segment ever.
Adam was always fascinated that there were tumescence monitors that we use as physicians. I remember when I first described it, you were like, what?
Yeah, it's like a band that you put around your leather. There's also cologne called the English leather.
Oh.
And they had the English leather girls.
Oh.
Do you remember that, Drew?
I do remember that.
All right, we have Chelsea making a joke about Joe Coy. Used
She
to
does
be her
do this.
boyfriend.
Oh.
Isn't here tonight, but that's not going to stop me from letting everyone in this room know that I would toss him around like a little Italian meatball. Thank you for laughing at that. My writers wrote it.
That's not bad.
Wait a minute.
I mean, it's a dig, but it's kind of funny.
I don't even get it.
We didn't start at the beginning.
Wait, they were involved. They were a thing.
They were dating.
For many years. For a while.
Yeah.
He's not Italian. He said she said Italian?
You're not talking about Joe Coy.
Yeah, we missed the top of that.
Whenever we run a clip, we always miss the part that makes sense at the beginning.
We were talking about Joe Coy.
No.
I heard making a dig at Joe.
No, what happens is we didn't cue it. We got the end of a Danny DeVito joke.
Oh.
I guess. All right. I don't. Well, let's try it. Let's see if
and then
it's
she
at the
likes small
top.
males. She,
So
she
when
likes-
we don't put head at the front of these things, speaking of leather, and then sometimes we don't pot them up audibly, so we always miss the first little beat, and then it screws your head up a little bit. But what was the whole joke, or is the whole joke? Or
We're pulling it up now, but it's Martin Scorsese.
Oh, okay.
what happened to Joe?
I thought DeVito was a good call.
He's more meatball shaped and shorter. You know what I mean? In Italian. Thank you.
So
Drew doesn't get it because
No,
Drew
I do get it. I'm still got Joe Coy in my head.
No, he doesn't get the Joe Coy part. The Joe
because
Coy
he didn't
part.
see any of the controversy of the Golden
no,
Globes.
I didn't.
Well, then why would you know?
Yeah.
Well, then you just think she's making a joke from a girlfriend to a boyfriend.
I don't get the joke. You said
Joe
Scorsese.
Coy. Forget about
All right,
Scorsese.
let's watch it again.
Okay,
This
let's do
is
it,
for
let's do
fun.
it.
But we got to add a little head or a minute or a countdown or something.
I got it, actually.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm going to try to explain with my broken English.
And he was the host of the
Golden Globe.
Golden Globes. Yes.
This is 10 years of this with Drew.
We don't have it anymore.
Well, okay, I'm going to be smart here.
Okay.
So she was making a joke about Martin Scorsese and it's getting the laugh. And then she said that my writer wrote it because Joe Coy went rogue and with his things that it wasn't written by the writer and bombed.
Okay.
Joe Coy said that his jokes worked great, but the
okay.
writers' jokes didn't. He kind of threw his writers on the
Yeah.
bus.
I didn't know about that. Okay.
Yeah.
There
And
you go.
his joke actually
Got
did
it.
not work.
Thank you.
And, well, way to go, Chelsea.
Still want to hear it.
Do we know why they broke up? Do you have any insight into what happened there? Because she was love of my life and then gone.
She seems like a handful to me.
You
He
know?
doesn't.
You know?
Yeah.
So sometimes
You know?
that can cause a man to get out of his leather phase.
I
Yeah. Because
Let's see
hers.
if we can get it now. Here we go.
Unfortunately, Martin Scorsese isn't here tonight, but that's not going to stop me from letting everyone in this room know that I would toss him around like a little Italian meatball.
Okay, that's not even funny, though.
No, it's not funny.
Thank you for laughing at that. My writers wrote it.
Your writers suck. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
That wasn't funny, though, right?
No,
By the way, just for clarification,
really funny.
TMZ uploaded that cut off with the Martin Scorsese part. The joke
They
that she
did.
starts off with, no, TMZ cut it off.
Yeah.
The
they
joke
did.
starts off with Leo. This is usually where someone would say a joke about Leo and his date being underage. I go the other way. And then she goes into Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
All right. But they didn't load it up how we first played it. They
That's
did?
exactly how he just loaded up TMZ, and that's how they started it.
They played it on half a joke? Wow.
Weird.
I guess they're fuck ups
all
over
weird.
there.
It's all
yeah.
weird.
All right. So anyway, Drew, you're clued in.
Got it.
Everyone knows the leather phase now.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
Everyone
good.
knows what a gym dick is.
I want to go to a ceramics class.
But do people know what weathered feldspar is? That's the bigger question.
If you can get now,
Sounds
if-
like the
if
guy
you-
who teaches the nature class.
If you want to have a good gym dick, then get it to the leather phase.
Yeah.
But don't get greedy.
Oh, then it gets weird.
Don't get past the leather phase. If you get past the leather phase,
Yeah.
let's agree. Let's just say your balls were 6 o'clock
6 o'clock. Yeah.
and your belly button was midnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't even get to 20 till.
No. And let's just say we're facing a certain. Let's say we're facing this way. All right. Yeah, obviously, 9 o'clock's out of the question. 8 o'clock is out of the question. Right?
Yeah, that's the 20 till part.
Like
7. Yeah.
quarter after 7.
5 to 7, 10 to 7.
All right. Yeah.
10 to 7.
Yeah, just prior to 7, yeah.
But anything past 7.
But not for,
I don't know. I'll go 7:03.
just be careful.
That's what I'm saying. This is why I said don't gild the lily with the leather phase.
Yeah.
You want leather.
You lose control at a certain point.
Yeah, leather. Yeah, leather is about, it's about 6:30, 6:45. 9 o'clock.
No,
That's a no-fly zone.
Past 9.
Yeah.
There are those guys. You ever been with the guys with the dicks that went past 9 p.m.?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But I kind of appreciate it.
Yeah, but I feel like a leather face is like a tired koi fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard but soft.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Leathery.
you know the potential.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leathery.
Yeah. Leather. So keep it leather. Keep it about 6:45 to 7.
Nice.
03.
Nice. Oh, that's also how hard a girl is. If you get a man to leather face, you are around the 7.5.
Just by talking
Hot.
to him. Yeah, just
Yeah.
by chatting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Grand Junction, Colorado Mesa Theater, January 26th. 2 shows coming up. And then Estes Park, Colorado, Stanley Hotel, January 27th. 2 shows over there. And then it's off to Naples for a bunch of shows February. Off the hook February 2nd, 3rd. And then Jiayoing's got shows coming. She's got Maples coming up. She's got New York coming up. She's got Seattle coming up. You go to her website, JiayoingSummers.com. And Drew, what do you got for a plug, sir?
Go to Dr.com, and I'd love to have all the Carolla guys over and gals over at my Rumble channel. Check that out. We do a streaming show at 3 o'clock Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and you can get it there on Rumble. So check it out.
So, till next time, Adam Crawford, Dawson, and Jiayoing Summers, and Dr. Drew saying mahalo.